The 92nd Alabama FFA Virtual Delegate Business Session will come to order. There are 45 delegates registered for our delegate business session today. The orders of the day are as followed. Approval of the state program of activities. Approval of the state FFA degree recipients. Delegates will vote on 2 constitutional amendments, and delegates will also vote on the approval of the 2020-2021 slate of Alabama FFA officers. The first item of business will be the approval of the 2020-2021 state program of activities. The Executive Committee submits the attached list of program of activities to the delegates. Jake Clark of the Beauregard FFA chapter has moved to approve the state program of activities as proposed by the Executive Committee. Being a committee report, this motion comes with an implied second. It requires a majority vote to pass. All in favor of approving the motion to adopt the 2020-2021 Alabama FFA State Program of Activities should vote yes below. All opposed should vote no. The next item of business will be the approval of the list of the 2020 State FFA degree recipients. The Executive Committee submits the attached list of the 2020 State FFA degree recipients to the delegates. Wesley Gaddy of the Alexandria FFA chapter has moved to approve the list of candidates for the 2020 State FFA degree as proposed by the Executive Committee. Being a committee report, this motion comes with an implied second and it requires a majority vote to pass. All in favor of approving the motion to adopt the list of the 2020 State FFA degree recipients should vote yes below. All opposed should vote no below. The next item of business will be the approval of an amendment to our Constitution. The Executive Committee submits the attached amendment to the Constitution submitted to the delegates of the 92nd FFA State Virtual Business Session for approval that states to move the amend the State FFA Constitution, Article 13, Section A, labeled Dues, by striking out the current wording and replacing it with the text noted in Constitutional Item 1, which would read as the following. Membership roster submitted to the state will include a $200 annual chapter membership fee. $175 of this fee will be used to cover the cost of the State FFA Convention, and $25 of this fee will be used to cover the cost of district and state contest materials. Of these funds, $175 must be used for the Alabama FFA Convention as the first priority. After all of the costs of convention are covered, as decided by the Alabama FFA Board of Directors, excess funds may be used for contest and award cost. Maggie Bush of the G.W. Long FFA chapter has moved to approve the amendments as proposed by the Executive Committee. Being a committee report, this motion comes with an implied second. However, it requires a 2/3 affirmative vote by the voting delegates present to pass. All in favor of approving this motion to adopt the amendment as proposed should vote yes below. All opposed should vote no. The next item of business will be the approval of the next amendment to the Constitution. The Executive Committee submits the attached amendment to the Constitution to the delegates of the 92nd Alabama FFA State Virtual Business Session for the approval that states to move the amend of the State FFA Constitution, Article 1, Section B, labeled Names and Purposes, by striking out the current wording and replacing it with the text noted in the Constitution, Item 1, attached, which would deal with the following. Replacing the language in the State FFA Constitution as related to congressional modification of Public Law 105-225, otherwise known as the National FFA Federal Charter. Holly Ellis of the Skyline FFA chapter has moved to approve the amendment as proposed by the Executive Committee. Being a committee report, this motion comes with an implied second, and it also requires a 2/3 vote in the affirmative of delegate present to pass. All in favor of approving this motion to adopt the amendment as proposed should vote yes below. Our final item of business is the approval of the 2020-2021 slate of Alabama FFA officers. The nominating committee submits the following slate of officers as the delegates of the 92nd Alabama FFA State Delegate Business Session to serve as State FFA officers of the 2021 school year, respectfully submitted by Dr. Beth Taylor, Committee Chair. Sentinel, Case Edwards, Wetumpka FFA Chapter. Reporter, Corley Williams, Alabama FFA Chapter. Treasurer, Lee Enfinger, Dale County FFA Chapter. Secretary, Brooke Perry, Pell City FFA Chapter. Vice President, Maggie Bush, G.W. Long, FFA Chapter. And President, Millie Grace Drake, J.B. Pennington, FFA Chapter. Wilton Mark Pettis of the Lexington FFA Chapter has moved to approve the slate of state officers as proposed by the nominating committee. Being a committee report, this motion comes with an implied second. It requires a majority vote to pass. All in favor of approving this motion, the proposed slate of state officers, should vote yes below. All opposed should vote no. And that wraps up all of our delegate business. And we would like to just take a moment and say thank you to all of our delegates for the time that you're putting in. We realize that this is not the year that we necessarily wanted, but the dedication that you were putting forward for your state is definitely going to make an impact, especially for next year's group and the coming group of FFA members. So once again, we'd like to thank you, and please just go ahead and take a moment and vote below on the proposed amendments, and we appreciate it. Thank you.